This is the news for today, Wednesday the 5th of June 2024. AI safety concerns rise. OpenAI, Anthropic, Google DeepMind employees sound alarm. AI workers from prominent companies like OpenAI, Anthropic, and Google DeepMind have penned an open letter warning about the dangers of artificial intelligence. The letter, signed by 13 individuals, including current and former employees, highlights the risks of AI, including exacerbating inequality, spreading misinformation, and potentially leading to human extinction. The signatories urge AI companies to adhere to 4 key principles: refraining from retaliating against employees who voice safety concerns, supporting an anonymous system for whistleblowers, encouraging a culture of open criticism, and avoiding non-disparagement agreements that restrict employees from speaking out. The move comes as OpenAI is facing a staff exodus, with some employees criticizing the company's profit-driven focus at the expense of safety. This is the news for today, Wednesday the 5th of June 2024. U.S. House passes bill to sanction ICC officials amid Israeli arrest warrant controversy. The U.S. House of Representatives has passed a bill that would impose sanctions on the International Criminal Court, ICC, over its decision to seek arrest warrants for Israeli officials related to the war in Gaza, whereby last month, Khan announced that the court would issue arrest warrants for Netanyahu, Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar, and other Israeli and Hamas leaders, and the final decision to issue the warrants will be made by a panel of 3 judges. The House vote on the sanctions bill was 247 to 155, with 42 Democrats joining Republicans in backing the measure. The bill would impose sanctions on people involved in ICC prosecutions of Americans or citizens of U.S. allies that are not ICC members, including Israel. It would also block such ICC officials' entry to the United States, revoke any U.S. visas, and restrict them from U.S. property transactions. The White House has criticized the ICC's decision, yet opposes the House bill, stating that it is outrageous and unconscionable. The bill is unlikely to be brought up for a vote in the Senate, which is narrowly controlled by Democrats. This is the news for today, Wednesday the 5th of June 2024. Hamas-Israel standoff. Hostage deal uncertainty and Netanyahu's war stance amid global mediation efforts. Hamas official Osama Hamdan has cast doubt on the possibility of a hostage deal with Israel, stating that Hamas cannot agree to a deal without clarity from Israel on a permanent ceasefire and complete withdrawal from Gaza. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, on the other hand, has insisted that Israel must continue the war until Hamas is defeated. Netanyahu's coalition partners have threatened to leave the coalition if the war is halted before complete victory over Hamas. The proposed 3-phase deal calls for a temporary halt to the fighting and the release of certain hostages, with talks about the second phase to follow. The U.S., Egypt, Qatar, and other countries have been mediating the deal and seeking international support for its implementation. The White House has not yet received a formal response from Hamas, but U.S. Special Envoy Brett McGurk and CIA Director William Burns are expected to travel to the region to help close the deal. This is the news for today, Wednesday the 5th of June 2024. Wisconsin charges Trump aides and attorneys in elector scheme, unpacking the legal fallout. Wisconsin's Attorney General Josh Kaul has filed charges against a former aide and 2 attorneys who advised President Donald Trump, who claimed to be the state's 2020 presidential electors despite Trump's loss in the state. This marks the first charges in Wisconsin related to the meeting of electors. The individuals charged include Trump campaign aide Michael Roman and attorneys Kenneth Chesbrough and James Trupus, each facing 1 felony count of forgery. If convicted, they could face up to 6 years in prison and a $10,000 fine. The cases are expected to extend past the upcoming election unless plea deals are reached. Trump's allies held similar meetings and sent official-looking paperwork in 6 other states, leading to false claims about the election outcome and the attack on the U.S. Capitol on January 6, 2021. Chesbrough was charged in Georgia and had pleaded guilty to conspiring to file false documents. Roman has also been charged in Georgia and Arizona. This is the news for today, Wednesday the 5th of June 2024. promising breakthrough in male contraception. Phase 2b trials of new gel show success. A new male birth control gel has shown promise in early-stage clinical trials, according to findings presented at the Endocrine Society's annual meeting. The gel, which combines the hormonal medication, segasterone acetate and testosterone, was tested on 222 men in Phase 2b trials. The researchers aimed for a sperm count of 1 million or fewer per milliliter for effective contraception, and by week 15, 86% of participants achieved this low threshold. The gel was found to suppress sperm production typically by the 8th week of treatment. Diana Blythe, chief of the Contraceptive Development Program at the National Institutes of Health, considers male contraception a men's health issue and said that women who participated in the trial felt relieved when they were able to stop using hormonal birth control. Currently, vasectomies and condoms are the only effective forms of birth control for men on the market. This is the news for today, Wednesday the 5th of June 2024. Tiananmen at 35. Silence and security clampdown in China and Hong Kong. China and Hong Kong have observed the 35th anniversary of the Tiananmen Square crackdown with silence and heavy security. Beijing's Tiananmen Square had checkpoints and police vehicles in an attempt to suppress any commemoration or protests related to the event. Hong Kong police arrested 4 people and dispersed others who tried to gather or protest. The Chinese government has long suppressed any public memory of the military crackdown, with the estimated number of casualties ranging in the hundreds or thousands. The anniversary remains a taboo subject across China and is heavily censored, with any mention of it on social media quickly erased. The economy has boomed since the crackdown, but societal controls have tightened under Xi Jinping's leadership. Tiananmen Mothers, a group formed by families of the victims, has called on the Chinese government to publish the names and number of those who died, grant compensation to the victims and their relatives, and hold those responsible accountable. Commemorative events have also been held overseas in response to the silencing of voices in Hong Kong. This is the news for today, Wednesday the 5th of June 2024. Padres Marcano permanently banned in MLB's biggest gambling scandal since Pete Rose. San Diego Padres infielder Tucupita Marcano has been permanently banned from Major League Baseball after violating the league's gambling policy, MLB announced on Tuesday. This is the first direct penalty for a player betting on baseball since Pete Rose was banned in 1989. Marcano's ban was accompanied by 1-year suspensions for 4 other players, including Oakland Athletics reliever Michael Kelly and minor league players Jay Groom, Jose Rodriguez, and Andrew Salfrank. MLB revealed that it received data from a legal sports betting operator concerning baseball gambling activity from accounts that belonged to the above players. Marcano bet over $150,000 on baseball, including over $87,000 on MLB-related bets. He placed over 200 MLB bets, and 25 of those bets included Pirates games while he was assigned to the Pirates Major League Club. Though he did not play in any of the games on which he placed bets due to an injury, Marcano's ban is a result of violating MLB's rules regarding gambling on baseball or softball. Under MLB's rules, personnel are actually allowed to partake in sports gambling provided that it is legal in their jurisdiction and that they do not bet on diamond sports. Each player violated the second part of that. This is the news for today, Wednesday the 5th of June 2024. AI safety concerns rise. OpenAI, Anthropic, Google DeepMind employees sound alarm. AI workers from prominent companies like OpenAI, Anthropic, and Google DeepMind have penned an open letter warning about the dangers of artificial intelligence. The letter, signed by 13 individuals, including current and former employees, highlights the risks of AI, including exacerbating inequality, spreading misinformation, and potentially leading to human extinction. The signatories urge AI companies to adhere to 4 key principles: refraining from retaliating against employees who voice safety concerns, supporting an anonymous system for whistleblowers, encouraging a culture of open criticism, and avoiding non-disparagement agreements that restrict employees from speaking out. The move comes as OpenAI is facing a staff exodus, with some employees criticizing the company's profit-driven focus at the expense of safety. This is the news for today, Wednesday the 5th of June 2024. Election shocker. Modi's BJP loses majority. Regional parties rise in power. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's Bharatiya Janata Party, BJP, has lost its national majority after suffering major losses in key states in the Indian election. While the BJP emerged as the single largest party in the Lok Sabha, it fell short of its performances in previous elections. The opposition India Alliance, led by the Congress Party, was projected to win many seats. Although Modi and the BJP are likely to form the next government, they will need the support of allies to reach the 272-seat mark. The election result has raised questions about the BJP's strategy, with analysts suggesting that overconfidence and a focus on fear-mongering may have contributed to their losses. Regional parties will now hold the key to the Prime Minister's office, and the BJP suffered losses in key states such as Uttar Pradesh and Maharashtra. The weakened mandate may impact the functioning of India's democratic institutions. Overall, the election outcome is seen as a historic shift in India's political landscape. This is the news for today, Wednesday the 5th of June 2024. NYC congestion pricing delay. Hochul hesitates amid election concerns. Congestion pricing in New York City has been indefinitely postponed, with the implementation set to begin on June 30th. The decision was made due to concerns from Governor Kathy Hochul and Democratic leaders that the plan could negatively impact Democrats in competitive House races this election year. Congestion pricing is a plan to charge drivers a fee for entering certain areas of the city during peak hours. It aims to reduce traffic congestion and raise revenue for public transportation. The plan, which would charge a $15 toll for passenger cars driving south of 60th Street from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. on weekdays, has been widely panned and is especially unpopular in the suburbs, where it has faced several lawsuits. Hochul is now seeking input from community leaders and stakeholders before making a final decision. Congestion pricing has been successfully implemented in other cities around the world, such as London and Singapore, but its rollout in New York has faced several delays and controversies. This is the news for today, Wednesday the 5th of June 2024. Scorching heat wave hits western U.S. Survival tips for Texas, California, Nevada, and Arizona. A life-threatening heat wave is set to hit the western United States, with temperatures reaching over 110 degrees in California, Nevada, and Arizona. Texas will be the first to experience the triple-digit heat, with cities like San Antonio and Abilene expecting record highs. Las Vegas and Phoenix will see temperatures soaring to 109 and 110 degrees respectively on Wednesday. By Thursday, these cities could reach scorching temperatures of 111 and 113 degrees. The heat will then move northward, bringing with it temperatures in the 90s to Oregon and Idaho. It is important to take excessive heat warnings seriously, as there are hundreds of heat-related deaths in the U.S. each year, and scientists believe the actual number of deaths is even higher. Authorities urge people to reduce heat exposure by avoiding outdoor activities during peak heat hours and to stay hydrated. Stay safe and check out various resources for tips on how to stay cool in the heat. This is the news for today, Wednesday the 5th of June 2024. Louisiana moves to approve surgical castration for child sex offenders. A historic decision by lawmakers. Louisiana lawmakers have passed a bill that would allow judges to order surgical castration of child sex offenders. State Representative Delisha Boyd and State Senator Regina Barrow, both Democrats, championed the bill after reading news reports about a convicted child rapist who had previously assaulted a 5-year-old. The bill expands upon the existing chemical castration law that has been in place since 2008, which requires convicted offenders to undergo chemical treatment that inhibits testosterone production. Surgical castration, a more invasive procedure, would be a new addition to the potential punishments, and the lawmakers believed that surgical castration would provide an even stronger deterrent and protect children from repeat offenders. Despite a predominantly Republican legislature, the bill gained support and was approved for final passage. If signed into law, Louisiana would be the first state to codify surgical castration as a legal procedure for child sex offenders. This is the news for today, Wednesday the 5th of June 2024. China's lunar graffiti. Chang'e 5's patriotic message on the moon. China has left its mark on the lunar surface in a unique way. The country's Chang'e 5 spacecraft, which successfully returned to Earth with lunar samples last December, has etched a patriotic message onto the moon. The phrase, "Long live the motherland," was written in Chinese characters, using a miniaturized laser engraver. This marks the first time that any country has created graffiti on the moon. The inscription is not just a symbol of national pride, but also a testament to China's technological advancements in space exploration. While some have praised China's creativity and innovation, others have raised concerns about the potential environmental impact of this action. China's decision to leave its mark on the lunar surface highlights the growing competition among nations in the realm of space exploration and the increasing importance of symbolic gestures in asserting dominance in space. This is the news for today, Wednesday the 5th of June 2024. EU court sides with Supermax over McDonald's in trademark battle. The European Union Court has ruled against McDonald's in a trademark case, stating that the fast food giant cannot claim Mc as its own. This means that other food chains within the EU can now use the prefix in their marketing and branding. The ruling comes after a long legal battle between McDonald's and an Ireland-based fast food chain called Supermax. McDonald's argued that consumers would be confused if Supermax used the name, but the court found that McDonald's did not prove genuine use of the name trademark in certain instances. This decision is seen as a victory for Supermax, as it allows them to expand their business without worrying about trademark infringements. McDonald's, on the other hand, may need to reconsider their branding strategies within the EU market. This is the news for today, Wednesday the 5th of June 2024. Arizona border policy clash. State proposal and Biden's asylum plans unveiled. Arizona lawmakers have given final approval to a proposal that would ask voters to make it a state crime for non-citizens to enter the state through Mexico at any location other than a port of entry. The measure, which is set to appear on the November ballot, would allow state and local police to arrest people crossing the border without authorization and give state judges the power to order people convicted of the offense to return to their countries of origin. The proposal bypasses Democratic Governor Katie Hobbs, who vetoed a similar measure in early March and has denounced the effort to bring the issue to voters. Supporters of the bill say it is necessary to ensure security along the state's southern border and that Arizona voters should be given the opportunity to decide the issue themselves. Opponents, however, have called the legislation unconstitutional and said it would lead to racial profiling, separating children from parents, and create several millions of dollars in additional policing costs that the state can ill afford. Biden recently unveiled plans to restrict the number of migrants seeking asylum at the U.S.-Mexico border, emphasizing that the border should not be weaponized for political purposes. If approved, however, the measure would be put to a vote in November. This is the news for today, Wednesday the 5th of June 2024. Market meltdown. India's $371 billion loss as BJP stumbles in elections. Nifty 50 and BSE Sensex plunge. India's stock markets experienced a massive loss of $371 billion as the ruling Bharatiya Janata Party, BJP, under Prime Minister Narendra Modi, fell short of expectations in the recent elections. The Nifty 50 and BSE Sensex indices both saw their largest daily losses since 2020, with declines of 5.93% and 5.74% respectively. The All India Market Capitalization Index also took a hit, losing over 31.06 trillion rupees on June 4th alone. This single-day loss wiped out all the gains made by the Sensex index this year. The BJP-led National Democratic Alliance coalition managed to retain its parliamentary majority, but the BJP lost its single-party majority and will now need to form a coalition government, leading to all the volatility and uncertainty. This is the news for today, Wednesday the 5th of June 2024. Israeli forces escalate attacks in Gaza. 15 killed in new assault. Israeli forces launched a new ground and air assault on central Gaza, killing at least 15 Palestinians. The Israeli Defense Forces claimed that fighter jets were attacking Hamas targets in the Berea area simultaneously with ground forces operating in a targeted manner with intelligence guidance. However, CNN cannot independently verify this claim. The Ministry of Health in Gaza reported that 15 people were killed and dozens injured during the operation, with the local Al-Aqsa Martyrs Hospital overwhelmed with admissions. Among those killed were a father and his 12-year-old son, as well as a boy and a girl. Witnesses reported an exodus of civilians from the Berea area, heading towards the coast. The Israeli military has been conducting operations in Gaza since October 7, 2021, after Hamas launched a cross-border attack on southern Israel, killing at least 1,200 people and abducting over 250 others. Israeli retaliatory attacks in Gaza have resulted in the deaths of at least 36,550 Palestinians and injured another 82,959 people, according to the Ministry of Health. This is the news for today, Wednesday the 5th of June 2024. Embassy standoff. Lebanese soldiers thwart gunmen at U.S. Embassy in Beirut amid regional tensions. A gunman was captured by Lebanese soldiers after a shootout outside the U.S. Embassy in Beirut on Wednesday morning. The Lebanese military reported that soldiers shot an assailant who they described as a Syrian national, and he was taken to a hospital with injuries. The motive behind the attack remained unclear, but Lebanese media published images of a wounded assailant wearing a black vest bearing the Arabic script for Islamic State and the English initials I and S. The U.S. Embassy reported that the attack did not result in any casualties among their staff, and Lebanese troops and embassy security responded swiftly to the situation. This incident comes amid ongoing tensions in Lebanon due to fighting between Hezbollah militants and Israeli troops, as well as political deadlock and economic hardship. This is the news for today, Wednesday the 5th of June 2024. Trump legal team pushes to end gag order in hush money trial. Trump's lawyers have asked a judge to lift the gag order imposed during his hush money trial. The gag order prohibited Trump from making public comments about witnesses, jurors, and other individuals connected to the case. Trump's legal team argued that the gag order is no longer justified since the trial has concluded, and that it infringes on Trump's First Amendment rights. They cited President Joe Biden's public comments on the verdict, ongoing public attacks from prosecution witnesses Michael Cohen and Stormy Daniels, and the upcoming presidential debate scheduled for June 27. The gag order does not restrict Trump's comments about the case in general.